to stop me. Eons of Aranda's finest history went ignored as I strode past antechambers and branches. During my 300 years of living in the palace, my servants and I had exhausted all of the easiest hiding spots, and besides, it would be insulting for Beza to hide nearby when I had rolled the pearl so far intentionally. An 8-legged zoomer crawled up the hall faster than I could walk, off to scrape up some piece of dust that only it could see. It, or one just like it, would eventually return the pearl to the pile of gemstones in my room where it had come from, gifts from my counselors after one of the interminable meetings. If the council knew what I was using the pearl for now, I felt myself flush. As queen, I could do what I liked inside the palace, but I knew from the screens Yazin gave me that queens ought not to know their servants quite so well. And as if to remind me of that fact, I walked past the chamber holding the statue of my king. I paused in his doorway, looking in. He was just as stern as the moment he'd been unveiled, a Zybon warrior of my very own, trapped in stone until our wedding ceremony released him. He'd been chosen specially for me by the council's celesticians, and I knew nothing about him except what I could see. His imperious gaze, his strong chin, his broad chest, and then, like a fertility deity of old, his erect stone cock jutting out from between the folds of his statue's armor. Seeing him turned my thoughts to the night that I'd discovered that I was magical, and it made my need for Beza grow. The halls held more statues, delicate arrangements of exotic flowers, elaborate rugs beaded with gemstones both hung on walls and walked on, fabulous paintings of successful generals and queens from before written history. Glasswork cages held mechanical and living lions, singing the same songs in harmony. Hall after hall of beauty, and I ignored the lot of it. What Beza offered was more precious than any of the art or jewels I passed. Places inside me ached to be touched and filled. My skin longed for the feel of her skin brushing against it. My patience waned as my need roared. I didn't want to play fair any longer. It was time to use my powers. I closed my eyes, steadied myself, and felt out. Feeling was the only word for it, though I didn't use my hands. I sent a part of myself that I couldn't describe out to search for Beza, and soon I knew, without being able to say how, that I should turn right. I took a few steps down the right-hand hall and stood in front of the chamber of vased history. My magic tugged at me again, like low hands pulling at my hips, and I opened the door to step inside. It was a massive room, full of styles of pottery from all of Aranda's ages. I couldn't recall anyone ever hiding in it before, which was a shame. It was a perfect place, full of bulky jars and squat pedestals to hide behind. The vase at the end of the first row was almost big enough to hold Beza. It was as tall as I was, and the dark red color of blood. I could see the streaks its creator's fingertips had left on its surface as I neared, my magic pulsing inside me with every step, pulling me toward what I desired. I still wasn't used to having power. I worried that it would leave me, or that I was imagining things. So I crept closer slowly, hoping that my magic was true. I wanted it to be. I ached for it to be. So when I saw a tickle of orange fabric peeking out from behind the vase's base, it was hard not to gasp with relief. I pulled up my skirts and walked along lightly, controlling my breath. My servants had minds of their own, and had played tricks on me before, disrobing and leaving gowns behind like shed skins to race away naked, laughing at momentarily fooling their queen. But more often than not, when we played this game now, whomever was found chose not to run very far, because being caught was what made the entire game worth playing. I whirled around the vase, surprising her. She startled and then laughed, clapping her hands to her chest, still breathing hard from her run. "I've found you," I said, trying to sound imperious. "You have, my queen." Her lips parted in a wide smile. There could be punishments for running.